Ranjan, I was just at Black Hat and I was having the following discussion with people about rip and replace. Everyone says this to themselves, why didn't I do this earlier? And we've all been in this situation, haven't we? And we don't learn, do we?
We make the same mistake over and over and over again. And we see another problem in front of us that we, really should just take care of and stop, stop continuing to deal with it. And we don't do it.
So we were talking about this very issue with regards to the SOC. And the SOC suffers this in 43 different dimensions. And why is it such a struggle for the SOC to sort of identify its sort of operational problems and not sort of engineer its way out?
When we first start out in any sort of sector in IT or cybersecurity, you don't have a lot of tooling, right? So you're building a whole bunch of stuff yourself. Over time, someone figures out what should be a product and they build that product, and the teams take a little while to just accept that, okay, this company now is actually doing what I needed to, they're producing software that does what I needed to do. And they still have that build mentality, right? And so it takes the industry a while to just, change the way they think about what they're doing themselves versus what they're just automating away.
What are you doing to help others sort of, identify and really push them to engineering their way out?
You want to spend your security calories working on security problems that are unique to your company, unique to your, sector that you operate in, whatever industry you happen to be in. But then there's a whole category of work that is universal, like detections on your endpoint, for example, are something you shouldn't write anymore. You should go get EDR and put that on your endpoint. The same is true for detections, in Google Workspace. These are universal detections that they are then building entire playbooks around instead of just having some sort of automation that they can throw at it. And now they can go focus on their production infrastructure. Now they can go focus on, what really is unique to their company. And that's the stuff you can't automate away.
I know you can't get rid of all the SOC pain by any stretch, but there are ways to ease it. Walk me through this.
Yeah, we were talking to someone who's a big fan now, and I was showing them what we'd built and what our vision was. And he's like, well, let me give it a try. Gave it a try. I came back a couple of weeks later and he said, wow, you've given me, in a very good way, 6 months of work that I can get done in other areas because I'm just standing you up to do the stuff that I was about to spend my next 6 months doing. And it was all around account takeover detections. It was all around phishing automation, just responding to email threats, responding to reports of bad stuff. It was around, weird stuff happening with data or even figuring out where your data is. It just flip a switch and it all kind of goes away.
We all talk about being more efficient, but we don't talk about what can you take off your plate, because there are things we do that we should stop doing. That, again, same story of may have been valuable at one time, no longer.
If you look back to Google and Facebook early days, right? They had massive infrastructure. They had to build a lot of stuff themselves. But today, if you're even for them, if you're a very large company with very large infrastructure footprint, there's a ton of companies that have caught up and can actually provide services to you at the scale that you operate at. And it's kind of the same mentality. I think it was, starting out, I didn't have something I could just throw in here. So I figured out how to deploy my own, detections to put stuff into a SIM, and then I was going to go and do the hunting in there. And that's just not necessary anymore. It's, there's an entire industry around helping you find bad things in your environment, and you really shouldn't waste your calories there.
Well, if you want help with that, especially if you're using Google Workspace or Microsoft Office 365, you should be talking to Material Security. To go there, you just go to their website. I'm putting it right there, material.security, material.security. It's spelled just the way it sounds, and I think we spelled it right there. Take a look. Go check them out.